Hello and welcome to Who Does Wars TV. I am your host Mike B. A bit later this week because stuff.
What's Mike played? I really want to know what Mike's played. What you played, Mike? Oh, and you other guys.
What we played, not a lot. I have now. This is an admission. I've started playing Valheim, which, if you don't know about Valheim, skip ahead a few minutes because you're better off just not knowing about it, and then you can't get drawn into the situation I'm in. But yes, Valheim. It's on Steam. It's an early access game. It's one of these survival games, kind of, but it's Vikings, which is mostly important. So things like Ark and even Minecraft, where you're just kind of farting around on a world, doing stuff. This is kind of a nice kind of progressive system in it, which, because this is my issue with a lot of these things, is they're sandbox games, so they don't really have any progression or anything, and you're sinking hours of time into these things. And if I'm going to do that, then I at least want to feel like I'm getting somewhere. So things like Warcraft and that, which World of Warcraft I was obsessed with for a while, but yes, that style of thing. So yeah, your open world thing, Vikings. I'm going to keep this short because there's nothing to do with board games really, but we're playing it. So me and the Sunday Book crowd are all on our own little server, fart-arsing around, doing Viking stuff. I've got some nice bees, doing some honey, nice. We're just looking at forging some stuff now. And it's got this nice progression system as you go to these biomes, these areas. Start off in like a nice friendly meadows, you go to a forest where you've got more things to kill and dungeons to go into and find stuff. And you complete quests to level up and do stuff and get you more crafting. That's kind of it. It's just kind of sauntering around in a forest, doing foresty stuff. Jamie's been building houses, doing stuff. I basically walk around hitting things with a stick. But yeah, it's been it's the closest I've come to walking any distance really since lockdown. But yeah, there you go. That's what we've been playing. Other than that, I don't think much else. Really, I mean, who knows? We maybe this board game soon. News. Well, there was one thing I was going to mention was for news. So Stellaris, I mentioned last thing, is the 4X game on the PC, which is now coming as a board game from Academy Games. Is March 11th is the date's been set for that. They're doing two sets. There's a retail set, which I presume is going to be relatively inexpensive, with standees and stuff. And then there's a deluxe Kickstarter version. I'm sure I looked at these prices. I can't remember. I think the inexpensive thing is like 40, 50 quid. And then the deluxe version with minis and all the other stuff is upwards of that. So I don't know. But anyway, that's out there. I like the idea and the concept, what it is. I'll have a look. If the retail version doesn't lose a lot in translation, I think the one big thing that the deluxe version had is a 5 to 6 player mode, which so otherwise the base set is 1 to 4. But there we go. Anyway, have a look at that. It's March 11th. I'm tempted, like it, but I've got TI4 and I need to finish playing that, and I've pretty much tried off really buying any new board games until such a point in time I can actually play the fucking things. So there's that. Then there is something else. I can't even read my own thing. Oh, there was so there's Mayday have put out it's basically TikTok Woodman, but they've rebranded it. So TikTok Woodman came out from, they have the license to it. I'm just going to look if I had it. It's a new one. It's up there. Click Clack Lumberjack or Tic Tac Rumba. They've released it. Essentially, it's like Tetris. There's Jenga. There's a wooden plastic tree. You knock things off with an axe. It's kind of fun. It's called a dexterity game. They lost the rights to it along with the Crazy Crazy Monkey Coconuts game. They launched, I think they've now pulled it. Literally, I saw this morning, I think they've pulled it, but they launched essentially that game with a rebrand with a panda on it. Something Panda. Knocky Panda, we'll call it that. And it pretty much stayed. Yeah, they've stolen the design and everything and just rebranded it, even though they don't have the rights to. Which seems a bit naughty. There was a little bit of a scuffle about that. But anyway, keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it's an okay game anyway. Why? It's a storm in a teacup, I suppose. But you know, it's a bit dickish. Mayday have not been popular. I mean, I've not backed any of their stuff since the last day because they tend to just be a bit shit. So yeah, I'm staying away from that. Great Western Trail, it's going to reprint a second edition, which looks much nicer because the art on the other box is just ugly. It's moved away from Stronghold games. You know, Stronghold, I mean, granted Bonnecor's now left them, but Stronghold were, in my opinion, whilst they had some good design games in their catalogue, the actual come to art production or the actual aesthetics of them, all of them, are fucking terrible. And I don't know whether it was cost cutting to keep it cheaper to get it out. I don't know, but they always look ugly. They're ugly fucking games. Sometimes cheap components. They look a bit shit. So Great Western Trail was one of those. But it's coming. It's going to be reprinted. It looks gorgeous. What I've seen of it. I know they've redone the board apparently in cards and stuff. And I think we're releasing more information about that over the next coming months. I don't think it's due until about Q3 of this year anyway. And they've also announced at the same time that they're doing 2 other versions of Great Western Trail, one in Argentina and New Zealand, I think. I haven't got it in front of me. I'm just running off memory, which is not what it used to be. Again, with new art and stuff, and I presume some tweaks to how all that works. I quite enjoy Great Western Trail. I don't own it. Ben owns it, and I think Jamie owns it. And I've played definitely Ben's copy a few times with the expansion. And it's kind of a cool mash-up of stuff. You got this board where you're kind of putting stuff down. Starts off fairly sparse, but you've got tiles you can buy and stick down that give you powers and buffs and not so much to other people. So slowly the board fills with issues and routes and stuff which are better to run. You've got this whole card kind of set collecting thing going on as well. The expansion added some cool things at the top of the board with a train thing, more point thing. It's all kind of quite cool. Lots of very Euro-y. But, you know, it's an interesting puzzle. It's not bad. I enjoyed playing it. If someone yanked it out and said, hey, when I go at this, then I would definitely say yes. And I might play the game. And moving onwards, Metal Gear Solid. So there was a game of Metal Gear Solid, and I forgot completely about this actually. It was announced a couple of years ago. It was coming from Emerson Matsuuchi. Oh, I murdered that again. The guy behind designed the Century Spice World games, all 3 of those, and Spectre Ops for Plaid Hat. And he was going to do some form of, I presume, hidden movement type thing. The design was mostly underway. It was coming from IDW. Well, subsequently, apparently, IDW have canned it. And he's now reverted the designs and that back to him, and he's scouting around to see if he can maybe find another publisher to publish it. Quite like his stuff. I'd be interested. I mean, I've not played the recent Metal Gears. I did like the Metal Gears, especially the early ones. They all started to seem to feel like a full motion video with a bit of game attached. It's the last few, but you can have a look. Then there's this, which is mainstream. Legacy has hit the mainstream. So there's Uno Remix that I saw a thing on the other day, which essentially is kind of looks like Blank. If you remember Blank, I don't know. It's basically cards. You write on the cards and change the rules as you play it. They've done it with Uno. Mass market thing. Might be something to play around with. Get the kids to play. I don't know. Uno does annoy me. So maybe I won't. Maybe I just write on it. Fuck off Uno on all the cards. I'm going to put a link in down here for Geek Lunch Meat, which is my old buddy Chris, who I know from Mundo Comic Days, and I covered that a year or 2 ago in a video. If you want to go and find that, I think it was a January video, not last year, the year before. But Mundo Comics was a comic book haven in Portsmouth that a bunch of us used to kind of circle around. Met Chris there. He's just put up a YouTube channel just doing nerdy stuff, mainly focused on, I think, comic books and movies and stuff. He's a lovely bloke. Does some really good painting, actually. He's put a video. I'm hoping at some point down the road, when I spend 5 minutes time we'll do a cross-promoted video, maybe. We can nerd out together. I imagine not together at the moment, over video. And then maybe put one out on his channel, and then you can put one out on his. He's not got many subscribers, so if you in any way like a bit nerdiness, there's nerdiness there in abundance. Go and see him, like, subscribe, do stuff like that. Go and have a look, see if it's for you. Lovely. I think that's it, really. Charlie's put out a video the other day of Zenquest, which is still ongoing, I think. So there's a 3rd video of Zenquest he's just put out with a bunch of new recommendations, some cool stuff in there if you're into RPG stuff, mainly Zenquest related. I'm sure he's going to do some of the RPG video bits. There's also, I put on the website, his review of the Aliens RPG, Alien RPG even, and Weave. Alien is one I really want to play the Alien RPG. I haven't played it yet. There's a few things he brought up in Zenquest which sound kind of interesting that I might hopefully maybe in on. Maybe I'm looking at that. I need to read that back through again. Beautiful thing. I've mainly been finishing painting my aliens another day, glorious day, in the core minis. I've only got. Well, there we go. Look, I've only got the power loader to finish. The remainder of Bishop, who's a bit squished, I've got to finish painting him. I've actually done the Queen, and then I've got 2 automated sentry guns and a couple of facehuggers. That's it. Oh, and the crates. I've just got to finish tightening them up. Then everything's painted. Then I can play it. That was a challenge for lockdown. Go me. It's kind of scattered over the table here. Other than that, I've been watching some stuff. So I watched Black Sunday the other day. It's from John Frankenheimer. He directed it. It's got Bruce Dern in it. Robert Shaw. Love a bit Robert Shaw. Love a bit Bruce Dern. If you not know about it, it's based on the Thomas Harris's first novel. Him who did the Hannibal stuff and all that, and Silence of the Lambs and that. His first novel was Black Sunday, which was set in the 70s, and the movie set in the 70s. Well, it was filmed in the 70s. It's off the back of the Munich Olympics, if you know of that sort of thing, where Black September went in and basically executed and attacked the Olympic Village. If you don't know anything about it, there is a wonderful documentary, which I want to say is called One Day in September. I'm not sure if it is, but have a little hunt, try and find it and watch it, because it's fucking brilliant. And it goes into that, the whole thing. And I think, did I dream it, or did Spielberg make a movie? I know he did Munich, which I think was off the offshot of that event. Anyway, that's all good stuff. But this Black Sunday is essentially is a fantasy novel. Is Bruce Dern is like a ex-Vietnam vet who's suffering from PTSD and all sorts of other major fucking problems. He gets linked into this terrorist group that have decided that they want to attack the States. And starting the movie is Shaw is working, I think, for the Israelis. He's like a paratrooper working for them. They're trying to track down this Black Sunday group, and they get the recording of a message saying they're going to perform an atrocity before it's actually happened. And they then kind of have this whole cat and mouse game where they're trying to find out of the woman who survived that attack, that raid, where she is, who she is, and what it is they're going to do. They tell you pretty early on. Essentially, Dern's flies the Goodyear blimp, essentially. And there's so much stuff in this movie that they wouldn't fucking let you do now. They shot it at a Super Bowl, I believe. Actual shot the movie while it was going on. We're allowed access to it, and there's players, there's NFL symbols, there's stuff that's going on, there's a Goodyear blimp being used as a terrorist weapon. None of that shit would be allowed to happen now. But yeah, essentially he's going to use the blimp, and he's got built this stuff that fires like nails, essentially like a nail bomb, but a massive fucking nail bomb, that he's going to come down the blimp, land and kill fucking God knows how many people. And it follows that, and it's a riveting thing, especially if it's Thomas before he went and did Silence of the Lambs and all that. It's got that feel to it. It's for the age of the movie. It's cracking. It's really good. Really kind of. It's a bit of a long one, but it shows this process for both sides. Them trying to hunt and hunted, and it kind of is plausible to a point. And then it just ends randomly, really weird. But there's some fantastic shots, and some of the stuff they did during the Super Bowl moments, and the shots around that are worth watching. And so it's a cracking movie. I called it up on, I think it was on Sony Classic or something, on one of the like far-flung channels, on the never end of the free sites channels thing, talking nonsense. I believe a Blu-ray is coming out of it at some point. And it's definitely one if you've never seen, like Bruce Dern and Robert Shaw. Brilliant. I'm sold instantly. So there's that. And then Son Number One, I had a brief chat with him, and we said we'd watch movies, and we're going to do Tarantino, so we did. We did 2. We've over the last few days we've done Hateful Eight, because he liked the idea of that, and Reservoir Dogs. And I've not seen Reservoir Dogs for years. I mean, I saw it when it came out, and I saw it a lot when it came out. I thought it was fucking fantastic. And it still stands up really good now, actually. There's moments of it, but it's for its age and what he did, it's stamps. It's Tarantino straight away. It's got like dialogue and some clever music, needle drops, fantastic stuff in there. What I was led to be thinking watching it was like, how come there's not a Reservoir Dogs board game? Because essentially it's a social deduction sequence. They've got a cop in amongst them, they don't know where it is, and they're having these discussions trying to work out who's the rat. I think, damn, that might make a good good board game. Why would no one licensed Reservoir Dogs to make that into a social deduction game? And then obviously Hateful Eight. It's kind of the same plot line to a certain extent. A bunch of guys stuck in a cabin, and again someone's pointing them, and we don't know who the good guys are, bad guys to a certain extent. And it's again a bit of a social deduction game. So that was just by accident, really. But yeah, really enjoyed watching Dogs again, because I've not seen that for a long time, and I recall seeing it at the cinema in London before it became a big hit. Actually, I think it was the London Film Festivals. I don't know, but I remember seeing it and just being wowed, and then it exploded onto the scene. But that was a cracking stuff. And Hateful Eight as well. It's a long movie, but Kurt Russell's in it. I mean, Kurt Russell, it should be in everything, really, shouldn't he? But that's what we've been doing. We've still got a few other ones to tick through. I know we're going to do the Kill Bill, I think, all together, one shot at some point. And Inglourious Basterds, I know he's not seen, and Django, I don't think he's seen. So there's that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood we watched, so it's fine. Pulp Fiction he's seen, so we take that off. Death Proof, I think we've seen ages ago. And Foxy Brown, I think Foxy Brown is like a movie that you need to be older to enjoy. So I need to go back to that and watch it, but maybe we'll see that. Anyway, I'm rambling incoherently. So there we go, that's what we're doing. There's not much of a report, is there, really? I mean, there isn't much to report. Hopefully, allegedly, there is the lessening of lockdown. I'm still unconvinced whether this is going to be what we're going to do. We'll see. Everyone stay safe out there. And all that. Summer's on the way, thank Christ. Who knows? Let's see where this year goes. Well, who knows what's going to happen? We don't know. No one knows. Fuck it, we don't know. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Mike B. I'll be back soon with more something. Maybe this or something else similar. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Catch you later.